Oh, this is Sunil Sunder Raj with Jersey Sporting News. Today, I'm happy to be speaking with Ayden Stone, a recent graduate of Hanford High School in Hanford, California, a softball player of the varsity softball team, and most importantly, a freshman at Fairleigh Dickinson University in Hackensack, New Jersey, and a member of the FDU Unite softball team. Ayden, thank you so much, for taking some time out to speak with me today. Congrats on your success, and it's great. It's going to be exciting to see you, again, attending FDU, said here in 2022-23. I guess first and foremost, if you want to talk about, FDU, what made it the perfect fit for you, Ayden?
Well, my recruiting process was really a roller coaster because I actually got recruited to Fairleigh Dickinson pretty late my senior year because I
Okay.
was I was before committed to going to a different school called Southern University.
Hmm.
And right after I decommitted when the coach moved, Coach Foy reached out to me, and he's always been super nice to me. He followed me on all my social medias. He's kept up with me, and he's always been super nice. And he offered me the opportunity to go play at Fairleigh Dickinson, and it's such a beautiful school,
Hmm.
and it's just a great opportunity. Even though it's so far away from my home, I'm
Yeah.
excited to go. I'm ready.
That's great. That's wonderful. Could you, just talk about the teammates, the coaching staff? You talked about head coach Chris Foy, assistant coach Delaney Cruz, volunteer assistant coaches Ray Vandermeer and Carl Taylor. Just talk about this coaching staff. If you got, in terms of your teammates, if you got to, of course, speak with them and just again the opportunity, again to play for the night softball team here.
Mhm. I got to meet Coach Foy a couple times in person because
Okay.
he's from New Jersey, obviously, and I live in
Yeah.
California. I've met
Right.
up with him at a couple softball tournaments just to talk to him and say hi. And I haven't met any of the other coaches, but I have met Coach Foy and his wife, and they're both really amazing.
Hmm.
And or Coach Foy and his girlfriend. And
Okay.
um I haven't met any of my teammates in person except for two that are going to be my teammates this next year who are going to be freshmen with me.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
and I have been keeping up with them and texting with some of my teammates who I'll be rooming with this coming year. But
Okay.
yeah, I haven't really met any of my other future teammates, but I'm excited to. I'm going to meet them soon when I go to New Jersey on the 22nd.
Okay, that's fantastic. And we talked about the facilities and top notch at FDU. Especially with that softball field. How excited to put that Knights jersey on and just again play on that field as well.
Well, I'm really excited because this is what I've been working to my entire life, like playing Division 1 softball and at
Hmm.
such an amazing school with such amazing such an amazing field and facilities, like you said. I'm just
Yeah.
really excited. I can't wait to get the uniform on. But yeah, I'm
Uh,
ready.
That's terrific. Hey, let's talk about Hanford High School. The softball team said a very successful 22 season. I think 22-8, 10-0, undefeated in the league. Talk about head coach Donnie Fagundes, assistant coaches Miles Meyer, Carlos Perez. Putting on that number 13, Bullpups jersey. What that meant to you. Said the past couple of years here.
Mhm. I originally went to Hanford West, and
Yes.
um I I played good over there, but I had a teammate over at Hanford High School, and I just thought it would be so much fun to play with her, a travel teammate named Lily Garcia.
Hmm.
And I thought it'd be so much fun to play high school ball with her. And she's only said good things about Hanford High. So I moved over there, and they were so welcoming. Coach Donnie was a great coach. I had so much fun with him. And Coach Miles and Coach Carlos were both really supportive as well. And yeah, they just welcomed me with open arms, and they were excited to have me on the team. And
Hmm.
this season was so much fun. Like, I made such great memories. Even though we didn't win the Valley Championship, we made it
Yeah.
there, but we didn't win. That was frustrating, but
Yeah.
it was a fun season, like a season I'll never forget, definitely. A great way to end my high school career.
Yeah, I was just about to say that senior year, again, to go out on that type of note, I know, again, disappointing not winning a championship, but still, again, overall, plenty of, accomplishments. And talk about training for a softball season. There's so much that goes into it. And I asked quite a few athletes about it in terms of strength and conditioning, nutrition, uh, that just what there are so many components. What for you individually, in addition to the team practices, what did you do? Said on the individual level in terms of that led to your success on the field.
Well, every day I go into my backyard. I'm blessed to have a batting cage in my backyard.
Okay.
Thanks to my dad who like set it up and paid for it.
Okay.
And I hit out there every single day. And I do fielding drills. We have tennis balls. I literally just throw a tennis ball against the wall, whatever I can do to work on
Hmm.
my fielding.
Yep.
And my brother, of course, I play catch with him. Um, but yeah, I'm blessed to have that in my backyard. And then about 2 to 3 days a week, I'll wake up at 4 a.m. and I'll go work out in a town near mine called Lemoore.
Okay.
And I'll work out at 5 a.m. for an hour and then I'll come home and I'll take a nap because it's well deserved. And um yeah, I try to eat well. I love food, so it's kind of
Yeah.
hard. But I usually work it off with my workouts in
Yeah.
the morning.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then team practices for travel ball. My travel ball season's over, but
Okay.
we usually would practice on Sundays. And during when I was still in high school, I had also like additional to my strength and conditioning at 5 a.m. At
Hmm.
school, I was in a strength and conditioning class, so I would also work
Okay.
out at school. And then during high school ball, I would have practice right after school. Then after practice, I would either have a hitting lesson or I would come back home and hit in my batting cage. Like it never
Yeah.
stops. It really does it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That consistent grind, that commitment, dedication, to perfecting your craft, and like I'm sure that's important. Like just staying active year round for you, like is so essential. Because if you want to, of course, be the best you want to be, and as now you're playing at a Division I school, I mean that must feel very rewarding, Ayden.
Yeah, it really does. Because like you said, like to play at that level, like I really have to try and perfect my swing. I have to make sure that I can't take a ton of rest days or days off because so
Hmm.
many things can happen with your swing when you take days off.
Yeah.
So yeah, the grind never stops. I'm
Yeah.
so happy that I get to play D1 because that was my dream as a kid. And I never really thought I would actually be able to do it, but I am. So it's
Yeah,
great.
no, I mean that's spectacular because again, there's so much competition out there, and the fact that you were able to excel, and again, to see that hard work really pay off. Hey, talk about utilizing technology, social media as well. The fact that you could put out your highlight, videos there. You can analyze like what again your strengths are, positives, negatives, and build off that. Just talk about how you've been able to really, again, tap into and just be able to, basically utilize it to its fullest extent.
Mhm. Utilizing social media?
Yeah, in terms of the technology as well, like with the videos as well, like in terms of whether it's your fielding or with your hitting as well.
Right. So, um, this was like essential during COVID or during
Hmm.
quarantine.
Yeah.
Um, I was posting videos of myself on Twitter. My mom would record for me,
Yeah.
and they liked editing like music over my videos, and they would send it to me,
Okay.
and I would post it, and I
Yeah.
realized I was getting a lot of positive feedback from that. I used to
Yeah.
only email coaches, like how a lot of athletes do. They email college coaches,
Hmm.
and but Twitter has become so essential because I was recruited off Twitter. Like
Okay.
my first recruitment was off Twitter, and then with Coach Foy, he found me on Twitter. So yeah, it's just been great. Like it's
Yeah.
given me a lot of help in the
I
recruiting
know.
process, definitely.
Just remarkable, like how far we've come. I said, with social media over the years, last 10, 15, years, and just to see that it's one giant community, in terms of everybody's on there, everybody's watching, what others are doing in terms of having athletes and coaches out there.
Mhm.
And that's just, again, fantastic to see that type of communication, just, be able to get recruited in that way. It's again, it's a different form. They talk about playing first base. You're a power hitter, your approach at the plate, and even playing, first base as well. There's so much that goes into it, both at the plate and in the infield. Just talk about how, again, you being able to work and again, uh, up your game, said over the years, Ayden?
Well, playing first base, when I was younger, that wasn't always my position. I
Okay.
During high school even, I played second base, and when I was younger, I played third base. But when I moved over there, it
Hmm.
kind of just it clicked. Like that's where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't think it's that much fun to play first base, and that there's not a lot of going on. Like my brother always makes fun of me. He's like, "You just have to catch the ball." I'm like, "It's there's more to it than that, though,"
Yeah.
because I always tell my teammates like, "I make you guys look good. I make your throws look good," because you know the shortstop can make like an amazing play and then totally like mess up the throw and like hop it, but
Yeah,
the first baseman will always get it, and it makes the
that's
play
right.
look perfect. So I
Yeah.
always tell my teammates like, I make you guys look good. Like that's
Yeah.
my job.
Yeah. No.
And then,
Excellent point you made. Yeah. Go ahead.
and then my approach at the plate, I always just kind of look, or I've had an amazing hitting coach. Like my travel ball coach, Mike Wallace,
Hmm.
he was my hitting coach, and he's been my hitting coach for 8 years, something like that.
Okay.
Um, I always have an inside out approach. I'm always looking for that pitch that I want to smash, and I just always put like big home run swings on everything.
Hmm.
Even though it doesn't always work out. I was kind of in a slump towards the end of my high school season, but um
Okay.
yeah, my approach at the plate. I love inside pitches, obviously. Outside pitches are a
Hmm.
struggle for me, but
Yeah.
I'm working on that. But I've been working on lately keeping my hands above the ball, cutting the ball in half, and trying
Hmm.
not to think about hitting the ball over and just think about being productive for my team.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No. No, that's super. I mean, just to have that flexibility, especially with the multiple positions you played in the infield, and then again, uh, trying to, as you said, just trying to be productive at the plate and just get on the base. That's really and then of course drive in runners as well. Okay, let's transition, of course, to Hanford High School. I had to ask you, the support from the student body, administration, athletic department, Associate Principal Dr. Eric F. Evans, and Athletic Director Bo Hills. What did just that support system for the team and just for yourself here the last couple of years?
Well, they were pretty supportive of our team. They made sure to advertise that we were going to Valley along with our baseball team.
Okay.
And the athletic director, I'm pretty sure he went to most of our softball games, most of our home games. And
Hmm.
I always saw him out there on his golf cart watching our games. And
Okay.
yeah, pretty supportive of our softball team. Like we're a small town and
Yeah.
like kind of a not that like our school isn't really known for our softball team. So the fact that we went that far, I think they were
Yeah.
really amazed. Um, but yeah, they were very supportive, I would
Yeah.
say.
No, that's great. That's great to hear. Hey, we all know it's just not about being an athlete, Aiden. It's about being a student athlete, and you definitely flourished. I mean, said in the classroom, averaging a perfect 4-point GPA your
Mhm.
entire career. Talk about that commitment and dedication again. It takes a lot of time management, organization, and discipline, and you were able to balance that out so effectively. You said you enjoy, biology and psychology classes, and this
Mhm.
this stat is just out there, and it's just again, just amazing. I mean, that's the word you've used. I know, averaging 10 books during the school year, very
Yeah,
conscientious and
yeah.
dedicated. You have that work ethic and regimen. I mean, I'm throwing out these adjectives, but they fit the billing. Talk about how, again, you were able. I mean, because it's not easy. I mean, the fact you have practices, you have lifts, you have the games itself, away games. How were you able to do this?
Well, a majority of the time when it came to homework, I was so lucky. Most of my classes did not give homework that you actually had to do at home. But I got lucky. I only
Yeah.
had a couple late nights, I'd say, where I would come back from like practice. I would go outside and hit, and then I would eat and finish all my homework. It was
Okay.
it was difficult, but it's always been my life, so I've just like been used to it, I guess.
Yeah.
But if I did have homework, I would try to complete it in class whenever like the lecture or whatever we were doing is already finished. I would use whatever
Hmm.
extra time I had to finish, and then I would also take extra time to read. I haven't read since the school year ended, but um I was always in the library picking out a book. Like I would crank out books in school. It was crazy.
No, it's a. I mean, that again, that is outstanding. I mean, to see again, you be able to, I said, find that open time because it's not easy during the course of a day, and the fact that just to be able to open a book and then just how many again you were able to finish during a school year. Okay, as you know, we need a really strong support system. Again, you talked about your parents, Brian and Collie Stone, your younger brother Xander. Just what have they meant to you during this academic and athletic journey?
Well, my mom has always kind of been like my softball mom. Like she took me to all my tournaments.
Hmm.
She's tried to be at all my games. And my dad, especially this high school season, I think he realized it's my last high school ball season. So
Yeah.
he went to the majority of my softball games, even though it was hard for him because of his job. He's a sixth grade teacher.
Okay.
And so it was kind of hard for him. My games would be around like 3:30 and he would have to leave his classroom right after school and hurry up and get there.
Yeah.
And my brother, he plays baseball, so I feel like he motivates me because he looks up to me because he's a baseball
Hmm.
player. So
Hmm.
that kind of pushes me to be a better player as well.
Yeah, no, that must be really special to have that. You have a common theme, yeah, a bond with your family, with your parents, with I said with your younger brother Xander. Talk about that. You guys again playing sports, working out,
Mm.
just to push each other. To have that must feel really getting up early in the morning, going to work out. Just talk about again. Those are memorable moments. I mean, that's something of course, when you get older, you'll look back upon. Just talk about that. Describe that, for everyone out there. Ayden.
Yeah, I think me and my brother, especially during quarantine, since we had to be stuck in the house together all the time,
Yeah.
we kind of formed a really tight relationship.
Yeah.
And the fact that well, at first he was kind of forced to go with me in the mornings.
Okay.
And I know it's tough for him because I'll already be ready and like dressed to go at like 4:15 ish in the morning, and he'll still
Yeah.
be in his bed, and I'll have to yell at him to get. But yeah, no, like it's a lot of fun to work out with him, even though sometimes like I'm not that much of a morning person. I'm like being quiet and in the zone when I'm working out, and he's
Yeah.
always trying to mess with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun because the days that he can't go work out with me in the morning because he has like a baseball game and my dad wants his arm to rest,
Hmm.
um, it feels weird like without him being there. I'm
Yeah.
like, man,
Yeah.
I wish Xander was here, even though he's kind of annoying. I love working out with him.
No, that's really nice to hear. And it must feel good. Like even like you mentioned, like you guys go out to eat. You have something, to talk about. I mean, you could whether it's practice or games, something that the entire family can gather around and talk. That must be said neat as well.
Yeah, it's great. Like me and my brother, like we play different positions. I think he should play first base as a secondary
Okay.
position. I told him
Yeah.
that because he's tall,
Yeah.
but he's a pitcher, so it's I ask him questions about pitching and stuff because I don't know. I've never pitched in my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do talk about baseball. I don't really watch baseball games, but
Okay.
he does, so he talks about that.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, my parents, of course, they love to talk about softball with me and my future and
Hmm.
Xander's future, and they're talking about him going to camps and things like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's always something to talk about, especially with softball and baseball in my family.
Yeah. No, that's terrific. You've been playing softball for a long time, since you were 4 years old. I was wondering, and you played soccer, basketball, and volleyball growing up as
Mm.
well. What is it about the game that really stands out to you that makes you want to play year after year? You definitely have that drive, you have that passion, the energy to do it.
Mm.
Just some of the things, maybe it's during the course of a game, it's a practice,
Mm.
just being with your teammates, your coaches. What is it about the game that makes it important to you?
I think that I had a little bit of natural talent in the beginning that my parents
Hmm.
saw in me. And so they pushed me to be on travel teams.
Hmm.
And so I was playing softball more than any other sport. And so it
Okay.
just kind of became routine to me to play softball. And I eventually fell in love with the game. And I found I was lucky to have such a great travel ball coach. I was on the same travel team for 7.5 years, I think,
Wow.
with
Okay.
Coach Mike Wallace. And yeah, that really made me fall in love with the game because he was such a
Yeah.
great coach. And I had so many great experiences with him and my teammates. It was great.
Yeah, no, that is impressive to have that connection with a hitting coach, with a head coach. It's you don't find that very often, for several
Yeah.
years to, as I said, be able to keep up that on a consistent basis. I'm wondering whether it's, you're with a travel team putting on the jersey, and then as I said, going back to, Hanford High School with that Bullpups number 13 jersey,
Mhm.
what that represented to you. I mean, I'm sure, I asked you, of course, now getting to put the Knights jersey on, but putting that jersey on must be just, again, it's got to be electric. You got to feel like that adrenaline rush every time, you put on the jersey. What is that? What are those times like, when you're preparing for a game?
Yeah, it definitely does feel exciting putting on the Hanford High jersey on because
Yeah.
especially moving from another high school, I felt like I had to prove myself and that
Hmm.
I wanted to kind of help Lily lead the team. And yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's
that's
great.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. Coming
Uh,
from another Hanford school and coming to Hanford High.
hmm.
Yeah, and especially with my teammate Lily being there with me, I always knew that I was going to have like a great teammate there that I was going to have fun with. And yeah, it
Yeah,
was just so much
that's
fun.
that's very good. Hey, just have a couple more left. Can't thank you for the time, Aid. I want to ask you. It popped into my head. I think it's important to ask you about this. Is that the growth of softball? Women in sports. It's really important, and to see uh the national coverage now. Both high school, uh, college softball, professional softball now. I mean, you saw the Olympic team, again,
Yeah.
have, again, immense success, I said last year. Talk about how much fun, I mean, just to be a part of that movement, to see, and, you have the Little League, said Softball World Series ongoing right now.
Mhm.
It just seems, again, and now with, of course, social media there, you have the TV coverage. Just talk about how great that is, to, again, just see the game growing, year after year.
Well, I think it's amazing because I never would have imagined that people would be telling me, "Oh, I can't wait to see you on TV
Yeah.
playing with your softball team." And I was when I first started hearing that from other people, I was like, "Wow, there's like softball has grown so much since I was younger,
Yeah.
and it's going to be such a great opportunity for me to be playing at such a high level and for my family and friends to be able to watch me from so far away. It's going to be I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's really
No, I
amazing.
I can I can definitely see it in you. Okay. Well, I have to definitely get out there. Your hobbies, which your passion is art. I said you love to draw and paint. I mean, your artwork is just, magnificent. I'm so impressed by it. And the fact that you have that creativity, you're so innovative. But talk about that, how much that means to you, to be able to have something, where you can relax, where you can actually sort of de-stress, because there's so much that's going on with the academic and athletic, component. Just talk about your artwork.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where it started with art.
Okay.
I just remember my parents, they have a picture that I drew when I was really young of a bird,
Okay.
and they said they were so impressed with it that they had to keep it. And I look at it and
Yeah.
it's literally just a circle with a beak. But
Yeah.
I think they're like compliments when I was younger, like them
Hmm.
telling me that I was good and to keep drawing, that definitely kept me going. It's kind of been
Yeah.
a passion or like a little side thing of mine, like you said, that
Yeah.
helps me de-stress. And I could just come in my room and draw when like I want to have a break. It's a
Yeah.
ton. And the fact that I'm good at it, like, and I also, the way I am, I like improving and I like practicing and seeing improvement in myself, just like softball. So
Yeah.
I'll just come in my room and I'll practice because I want to get better. So even though like it is a de-stress thing, it is kind of also a competition again for me.
No, that's fantastic. Hey, I think you're in a great spot again, to offer advice, and a message to those younger kids, who might watch this interview, that try to navigate those waters in terms of playing sports, especially softball, but especially girls. I'm wondering what you would say to them out there. They're watching this and just trying to figure out. Look, is sports, is softball, the way for me to move up that ladder.
Well, I would probably tell them to just keep going, especially if you have fun when you're playing sports, when you're doing good when you play the sports and you feel something, I
Mm-hmm.
would tell them to keep going. Like things will get hard. Like I know you get frustrated when you don't play good, but just keep improving yourself. And as soon as you start seeing results, you'll start falling in love with the game even more. And yeah, just keep going. Don't let your failures discourage you.
Well said. Okay, Aiden, you get the final word and message here for family, friends, classmates, teammates, coaches at Hanford High School, the administration athletic department, the Hanford, California community, and now, of course, you're with Fairleigh Dickinson University, your teammates, coaches, and the fan base out there. The floor is yours.
Well, I just want to thank everybody from Hanford or just my family in general and my friends. They've been a huge support system to me and they've really pushed me to want to be a better player and a better person. And I'm really excited that my hard work has paid off. And I'm excited to hopefully help out the Fairleigh Dickinson team and be a important piece to their team. I'm really excited to go over there. I'm a little nervous because it's so far from home. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss everybody here, obviously. But I'm also way more excited. Like I think the excitement weighs out the nervousness. But yeah,
Yes.
I'm excited to finally meet all my teammates and finally see the school. I haven't even been to the school yet. So I'm
Okay.
excited. I'm really excited. Like I've only
Yeah,
seen pictures. So yeah,
that's
I'm
great.
ready.
Yeah. No, it's very commendable. I really give you a lot of credit. I mean, to go from the West Coast to the East Coast, it's a huge jump. It's a big step in your life, and the fact that you're willing to take that risk and willing to come here east and again showcase your talents, not only of course on the field, but in the classroom. I just, again, you're majoring in biology, that it just again, hats off to you, being able to, again, it takes a lot of courage, to do that. But obviously, you're determined and, you're ready to, again, uh, tackle it head on.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready. It's gonna be a huge jump, but like you said, I'm doing it for the love of the sport. And
Yep.
it's been my dream to play Division 1 softball, so I'm gonna do it. I'm ready.
Sounds good. Hey, Aiden, just again, a true honor and privilege being able to interview you. Again, congrats on your success at Hanford High School, and really looking forward to seeing what you accomplish here at Fairleigh Dickinson University and Hackensack High School again, and academically and athletically, especially on the softball team and wearing
Mhm.
that Knights jersey.
Mhm. Thank you. I'm really excited.
Thank you.